Welcome to BCIT InFocus. I'm your host, Maria Vinca.
And I'm Kaia Proctor, and we're here at BCIT's Center for Advanced Research and Innovation, also known as the CARI Campus.
CARI is BCIT's epicenter for groundbreaking research and technology.
From a water jet that literally goes through metal to dogs on wheels, this place has absolutely everything. They're celebrating their 30th anniversary here, and our Kenneth Pittman is going to show you what's changed.
BCIT's always been a teaching organization, but the mandate from the provincial government was for us to supply technology services to industry, so innovative solutions, help them develop new stuff. So we've actually been doing it for a long time.
Over the years, CARI has been a part of some really cool and exciting programs, from a baby calmer.
We've been working on a project that simulates the mother's heartbeat and simulates the breathing for the neonatal infants so that they can actually feel like they're more attuned with their mother. It speeds their healing, it helps them develop faster.
Then there's the Smart Microgrid, a project that promotes clean energy across BCIT's campus.
The biggest piece of it that people see is the Oasis electric vehicle charging system, the big solar electric gas station out in parking lot 7. But it actually permeates the whole campus. We have infrastructure, we have metering, we have solar charging on top of SW1, we have multiple battery systems. That's been a really great project for us because right now it's being spun out into the communities.
It's here at BCIT's CARI campus where technologies like this massive green screen behind me is making the possibilities here endless. I mean, look, I'm in space. Technologies like the green screen are a prime example of how CARI is meeting industry needs, bringing in the likes of many film companies from around the world. While still reflecting on the past, it's all about moving forward for Dotto and the people over at CARI. 20 years from now, where do you see this CARI campus, this innovation and applied research, where do you see it going?
Expanding.
CARI scientists are excited about their new research that involves a common West Coast plant. As my co-host Kaia Proctor found out, it's shown some positive signs in the fight against cancer.
We're at the UBC Botanical Gardens to check out one of the nastiest plants out there. It's the bane of hikers everywhere, but right now scientists are reutilizing this plant and creating an incredible new purpose from it. Let's check it out. While on first glance, Devil's Club looks like the opposite of a medicine, scientists at BCIT have taken a second look.
This is a Devil's Club root or plant stem, and it may be hard to see, but it has little spikes on it, hence that's where it got its name.
Dave Hassman is a chemist and the driving force behind a groundbreaking project working to develop a cancer treatment.
So that's how the project started, 15 plus years ago. I didn't know anything about Devil's Club. I didn't even know it existed then. We were also working with Children's Hospital who did bioassays, and we gave them extracts, and their conclusion was that they had very bioactive compounds for cancer.
Initial testing showed the plant's compounds had potential to fight even pancreatic cancer, which kills almost 5,000 Canadians every year.
As the project progressed, we found it necessary to do synthetic work.
Hello.
Hello, my name is Jamal Khalifi. I am an instructor and a research scientist in chemistry department. So this is where I do my work. So actually I am an organic chemist. So my job in this project is to synthesize compounds. So these compounds are called polyacetylens.
The most active chemical Jamal has synthesized is called farcarinol, or FC.
My colleagues at UBC-VGH, they were telling me that it's the most effective one. And they used it first against pancreatic cancer cells. But later, They tested these compounds against other cancers, and they found that these compounds, they are active against all types of cancers.
All the research going into the project, however, takes resources.
Yeah, we need funding because that instrument costs $250,000. Jamel and I are very expensive, right?
Despite this, the team are doing their best to get their formulations to the people who need them most as soon as possible.
The most important thing in life is actually to try and help other people. The results we had so far, they are very encouraging, so I am very optimistic.
Another cool department at CARI is known as the SMART team. They're busy trying to help northern communities transition to cleaner energy. Our reporter, Nick Empty, tells us how.
To us, the noise is an inconvenience, but for the small community of Suits-LK, a necessity. Located 200 kilometers east of Yellowknife, Suits-LK is a remote community of about 300 people. Since the town is so far off the grid, they have to run diesel generators year-round just to supply themselves with power. Shanto Catholic, a resident of Suits-LK, says you can always hear generators running.
But really, like, you would hear, you know, the wind blowing, the waves on the lake when it's windy. Sometimes not even nothing at all, just the generators, right, when it's really quiet.
I spoke with Manu Shariat today, who is part of a team at BCIT that visited Suits-LK looking to change the way they generate electricity.
So the solution we have in mind is a hybrid solution. It can integrate the renewable energy systems. The goal is to reduce communities' diesel consumption and gradually reduce their reliance on diesel as a fuel for power plants.
Northern communities, that's what they want to do. They're trying to step away from diesel and find a lot more renewable energy.
BCIT is looking to eliminate Suits-LK's reliance on diesel by harnessing power of the sun, wind, and water, the very nature that the community is built around.
And we're kind of stewards of the land, where we want to keep the land, you know, clean and, you know, for use for generations to come.
We're in the middle of CARI Lab, a place where unique, customized prototypes are created. I'm joined here now with Ernie Janzen, a trade researcher. Ernie, tell me about this lab.
In the CARI Lab, here we have a multidisciplinary team where students, faculty, and industry can come and bring their ideas into reality.
And I know there's a lot of really cool machinery here. Can we touch base on the water jet? How does that work?
The water jet uses a high pressure nozzle of water and introduces garnet into that area, sand that is, and erodes any material it follows along. So it works in a 2D manner. So if you can draw the picture, you can cut this out of steel, aluminum, granite, glass, foam, wood, whatever you choose.
And also the CNC machine. Can you describe a little bit of what the CNC machine is?
CNCs have been around for quite a while. CNC stands for Computer Numerical Control. And they're a subtractive manufacturing element, unlike the 3D printer, which is additive manufacturing. So we start with a block of material, we write a program, the shape we want to machine, and we machine it out and create the part that we want.
And how would we use that outside of the lab?
The CNCs have been used for years in the automotive business, in the millwright area, in industry. All our parts that we know now are generally made with a CNC because it's repeatable and their accuracy is better than manual machining.
And in a summary, how would you describe the magic in this lab?
The magic in this environment happens when we create products that actually help improve the quality of life.
Thank you for joining us, Ernie. Right back after the break, CARI in motion, from electric cars to dogs on wheelchairs. A defining moment for me was when I finished my first internship and got lots of really great feedback from industry professionals.
I would have never imagined I'd be walking into the floors of TSN and thinking, I'm not a student anymore, I'm here to work.
I will be starting a job with an investigative news program in Toronto, and I'm really excited to see that grow into what will become, hopefully, my dream job.
BCIT Broadcast and Online Journalism, putting you to work. I chose BCIT because I know that all the programs are very hands-on. We have our own radio station, like it's one of the best programs that I've ever heard of.
I am starting a job on Monday, so confidence is high.
Honestly, I didn't think it was going to be this fun.
It's CARI Campus's demand for electric vehicle continues to accelerate. The problem is that there aren't enough places to plug in. Mohawk Sud is in the driver's seat.
Cars, they're everywhere, but electric vehicles or EVs, not so much. In 2019, why is this the case?
There's still a certain level of range anxiety out there among EV drivers, thinking that they may not be able to get from point A to point B without running out of charge.
He's right. There is some concern about range anxiety.
The only problem I'd have with it is like the range.
No, it's stupid. In Vancouver, you drive like 100 kilometers max inside the city. 100 kilometers back, that's assuming the worst case, right? You still have half your battery left.
I mean, if you ever want to go somewhere far, I guess, like right now, there's not enough charging stations around, so it'd be kind of hard to go somewhere really far.
For range anxiety warriors, pop up a direct current fast charge and most of that anxiety is gone. But let's hear that again.
Like right now, there's not enough charging stations.
That's the real problem. A shortage of EV charging stations. You see, there are 3 types of EV charging stations. Level 1, Level 2, and direct current fast charge. A lot of the work at CARI is being done on Level 2 chargers and how to better fit them into multi-unit residence buildings or MURBs.
It's a challenge because as more people get into using EVs, the infrastructure is just not there for MURBs. But with newer buildings, new bylaws have required them to be EV ready or have electrical outlets roughed in. So.
BCIT's Burnaby campus is home to a microgrid where the work of CARI researchers is put to the test. The power generated by the solar panels is collected and used to charge EVs on campus.
I think of charge stations, EVs and charge stations is like oxygen and human, you know. We need oxygen to function and EVs need charge stations.
That's why Metro Vancouver wants these chargers everywhere. And the researchers at CARI Campus hope to help the city meet its 2020 Greenest City target.
Moving now from recharging cars to recycling cans, staff at CARI Campus are trying to come up with new ways to encourage recycling, one can at a time. Matthew Fraser dives into the issue.
Different types of recycling bins are offered around BCIT, making sure people dispose of their waste in the correct location. At the CARI campus, Maria Bushman and the Smart Research team are doing a project to make sure of that.
So the main point of the project was just to get over this idea of aspirational recycling.
Aspirational recycling, the act of setting aside recyclables that don't actually get recycled.
So a lot of people think that, oh, well, BC is so green, BC is so great, so they assume they throw anything in the recycling bin and it'll get recycled. So a big key in the project was trying to kind of remove some of that uncertainty and kind of busting some of the myths of, is this recyclable, is it not?
Bushman and one of her roles in the project included a presentation to help educate people on what goes where, or if the item in question is recyclable at all.
Quick hand up, hand down. For aluminum foil, who would assume that it is recyclable? Who would assume that it's not? Okay, so I think we're gonna learn some stuff today, which I'm super stoked about.
It turns out your aluminum foil is actually recyclable, as well as your standard juice box and milk jug, but your straws, cutlery, and compostable cups aren't generally accepted.
You've probably had that moment where you didn't know if you were disposing of your recycling in the right place. So we asked people around BCIT how important it was to make sure they get put where they belong.
I think it's more and more important. I think we're seeing more and more that it has an impact, that it's impacting the environment and things like that.
So it doesn't go on our landfills?
You've seen our oceans, man? Ocean's bad.
Oh, it's good for the environment. Keep it out of the environment or just to reuse it in general. Like, if I can keep this plastic in use, I might as well do it.
I think for me the biggest thing, as soon as I was learning about what was going on in our oceans, I was seeing animals being, killed by plastics and things like that. So I think if we recycle properly, hopefully that leads to less junk in the ocean.
While the project is a step, Bushman thinks there is still more that could be done.
Getting more people to ask, where does my recycling go, as the title of this research is. And the minute you have enough people asking that question, the voice gets a bit louder and there's going to be more people demanding answers. So I think that's one big thing that we should do.
BCIT's recycling programs has been so successful in recent years, we now divert 70% of all waste materials away from the landfill.
My co-host Maria Vinca tells us about one woman's journey.
My name is Michaela and I am 19 years old. I'm really into hiking. I love the outdoors. I really enjoy swimming when I'm in the lake or the ocean. That is my happy place. When I was in grade 9, I got my leg amputated. I was born with osteofibrous dysplasia and a tumor.
Before amputation, Michaela had troubles walking and even doing the things she loves, like hiking. Michaela is now wearing the latest version of a prosthetic leg. The research behind the making of a more comfortable prosthetic began at the 3D Motion Lab at CARI Campus.
If you look at the two of these biomechanically, if you were to look at somebody walking and they were wearing this one versus this one, their gait pattern would be completely different.
Yvette uses 3D motion capture to improve the making of a prosthetic limb. Small markers which normally are placed directly on skin are captured by cameras around the room that gather data that analyzes a patient's movement.
Everything's working, and it's movement data, so actual movement of each segment. We need to know where each of those are moving in relation to each other.
The research done at the 3D Motion Lab made its way to Barber Prosthetics. BCIT alumni Dave Moe has used the information to enhance the performance of artificial limbs.
To be able to hook up with something like BCIT and be able to access that and then actually take away some information that affected my business and the way that we do provide patient care.
Dave created Michaela's first prosthetic leg as well as her most recent. It might just be a regular day at Barber Prosthetics, but it's a life-changing experience for Michaela.
With the new prosthetic that I have now, it feels a lot better. Like I'm able to go out all day and my leg isn't sore by the end of it. I can go to bed happy, which is awesome. I chose amputation and it's been one of the best parts of my life. It's been like the best thing for me.
Motion capture cameras at BCIT are also being used for environmental reasons, such as monitoring flooding on green roofs, which are covered with plants.
Changing gears now, from people to pets, we've often heard that you can't teach an old dog an old tricks, or can you? Workers at CARI Campus have created a sleek new ride for our furry friends. As Matt Pereira found out, the pooches are rolling with it.
Meet 4-year-old Marley. She's modeling the latest version of a dog wheelchair created at BCIT's CARI Campus. Under the leadership of Dr. Sylvia Rashkit, the Make Plus team was able to redesign existing wheelchairs.
Two things that were important in this particular wheelchair when we designed it. One of them was adjustability. It's got these leg slings at the back that hold the dog's back legs in place. You can now adapt it to an individual dog.
The chair also has an adjustable chest plate, 4 wheels, and a removable harness that allows the wheelchair to go directly over top of the dog, making it really easy to snap into place. To learn more about where the idea came from, I contacted Anne-Marie Fleming, who's the owner of Dog Quality, a company that specializes in senior dog products, and she's the mastermind behind this project.
You know, I've had senior dogs for many years, and in particular, I had a dog named Milo, and he was struggling with all 4 legs, and I had looked to what was available, and it was really disappointing because all I could get out of it was poor Milo could just stand in it. So Lily has had a history of back problems, and she's a little stronger than Milo was at the time, but her back legs are pretty horrendous right now. And she is really struggling. She's very uncomfortable walking, and I promised her, I couldn't help Milo, but I promised her that we would have something that could help her when she really needed it. So I'm really happy that I was able to connect with BCIT and make this happen.
A really exciting moment whenever you put any sort of an assistive device on an animal is when the animal begins to move, and they do so comfortably and freely. A wheelchair like this can give a dog a really good quality of life at that last phase of life where their body's struggling but their mind and heart is still there. So this helps them live their last months or even years happy, healthy, functional.
The dog wheelchair should be available to purchase by spring of next year.
This has been BCIT in Focus at the CARI campus. I'm Kaia Proctor.
And I'm Maria Vinca. Thanks for watching.